Well, hello, and welcome back. I'm AJ O'Neill, as per usual. Who are you, as per usual? We are going to be working on Telebit once again. This, I think, is our third session doing Telebit. Anyway, what we're working on is we're gonna deploy the new Go version with with payments. That's what we're working towards. So that's this series will have completed when we get there. And where I left at last time was very sad. We had to play the sad trombone because I couldn't figure out that basically there was a bug. I hadn't touched this in 2 years. There was a bug. There was a feature that I had initially, and then through some client work, I had done something that broke it, and then I didn't actually fix it till we got off stream. But we're off to a good start. Anybody, feel free to say hello, ask me questions, yada yada. Tonight's going to be a good night. Let's go ahead and have a quick word from our not a sponsor, Mr. Mountain Dew. Not a sponsor, but Pepsi. I'm big time. Reach out to me anytime you like. I'll be happy to do you a solid. Okay, so there we are. Papa Top, my friends, let's open focus. We did it. And now to get to the part where we actually focus. So first of all, I might rein that in just a touch. The first thing that we need to do, let's see if this is still, yay, okay, cool. So management interface is still working. We're still proxying the two domains that we need to proxy. Good. Okay, so they're working. Let's go ahead and check them out over here real quick. Good, we still got the version up. And we still got our 4.4 page not found up. Okay, good. So we actually did get things working. Let's Encrypt is working now. I fixed that bug. I pushed the fix, rebuilt and all that jazz. So now I guess I need to go into each of these and just get back in. So we're going to go into the old one. I don't know how much of that we're going to need. We're going into the new one, the V2. I've got two windows open up there just so I can manage that in two windows. Screen XRS awesome. Remember that's X marks the spot, R, and I forget, what was the other one for? XR marks the spot, something like that. Anyway, that was my mnemonic. That's part of my mnemonic. Not a very good mnemonic for remembering how to use screen. And we need to be looking at, okay, here's the management server. No, this is the management server. This is the Telebit relay. What we should be able to do is get a local device connected to the relay. So I'm going to have to use the admin token that I created to create a device token. Then I should be able to get the device connected. That'll finish the test of, hey, the system works. And then we'll move on to replacing the authentication system from being this one to being one that's tied into payments. So that's the goal. Hey, how's it going? And maybe I'll put my headphones on just so in case anybody, I don't know if I want them on all the way, but just in case anybody sends a message or something, or does something that makes a ding, I'll be sure to hear it. All right. So this is the relay server. This is the management server. This is just an extra window. Looks like a few of these are just extra windows here. Let me go ahead and get rid of them. All right. And I'm going to go into the README, and it's actually, I believe, this README. No, these are that's my to-dos. What was this? Oh, this was my fix for the changes. In case you want to see what was the result after the off stream. So changes after stream last time. I think actually this includes the changes that happened during the stream, but it also includes the fix. Basically, I created a new package for HTTP 01 validation for Let's Encrypt. Very simple, just file-based. If it needs to present it, it writes to a file. If it needs to clean it up, it removes it from the file system. And then there was actually a bug that I found. That to what else? Yeah, this little, I think this little presenter bit I changed out. And I think I left, yeah, that intact. Okay, anyway. Let me see if I can find, is this the part of the, yeah, that's the part of the README I wanted to look at. So let me just go ahead and bring this over here. So we're back to the part, I already did this before, I'm going to do it again. We're going to make an admin token, and then I'm going to use that admin token to register a new device, and we're going to specify what the domain is for that device. So I think if I actually just go to Telebit here, I think under the examples, I already had most of these things. Yeah. Management, ping as admin, ping as client, add device. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this one and just see. Should be pretty much the same as up here. Yeah, so we're going to create a token. We're going to have a vendor ID. We're going to have a relay secret. I'm just going to go check off screen real quick that I don't actually have anything secret in my .envs. It should just be random values. So I'm going to do that. And I do have the chat open, so feel free to say hello, offer a distraction, etc. Alrighty. All of this looks like, yeah, okay. Nothing actually sensitive in here. This is all just random tokens and stuff that we've already generated on stream. So my goal is, yeah, this is going to source .env. Kind of interesting that I didn't have the .bin bash up there. Set-e, set-u, put dash in strict mode. And then this actually, the whole thing should be put in quotes, funnily enough. Let's go ahead and run that like this. I think that should be right. Why is it complaining? I don't know why it's... Okay. Double quotes to prevent globbing and word splitting. Fair enough. I think that's still right, because this is going to be, wait a minute. Okay, yep. All right, that's fair enough. What else we got here? All right. So we're going to create a new, I think this is just a new admin token, if I'm not mistaken. We're going to use whatever the vendor ID is. Let me make sure. Vendor ID. That should be the same on the server side as well. So if we look over here at this management server, let me just take it down for a second. If we look at, do we have vendor ID in here? Vendor, yeah, it's right there. It was right there under my cursor all along. Okay, so that's going to be the same. And then I'm just going to do a little quick check to make sure that when I refresh this, that 404 still goes through properly. Yeah, okay, good. It does, which makes sense because there's nothing to do yet. Okay. Create a new shared key for the given slug. And then add the device. Now this one I'm actually a little bit curious about. This could possibly be wrong. Oh, I need the MGMT URL. I need to put that in here. That is going to be https mgmt.v2.telebit.io. And all right, so that's fine. Client subject, that we do want to define. It seems like this one, yeah, whatever, that works. We can call it newbie. Oh, and I do need to have apparently the /API at the end of this. Yeah, to match that. Okay. So I'm just going to check it out and see if this, just running this as is, works. I think that maybe it shouldn't work because we're not adding this to the database first. I'm just going to run it and see. So this is just using the API. Oh my. Oh, that's not what I expected at all. I think it's because the version that I've built here locally, I actually copied this over from Linux and I'm running Mac. So I think I just need to run the build MGMT again, maybe. Okay, something is off. Let's see. Let's remove that. Let's remove that. Let's just double check the Go version real quick, see if there's anything weird there. Let's do go mod tidy, go mod vendor. Z syscall Darwin ARM64. I'm wondering if maybe, I don't know. This is not familiar to me. My best guess is to try compiling this as AMD 64 rather than ARM 64. I'm just going to search this error. See what we get. Okay, do we have old ones? No, this is pretty recent. March 17th, March 20th. So my guess is that this is something to do with Go 118. Yeah, okay. So this looks like a Go 118 problem, so I might want to downgrade to Go 117. Let's see what somebody's got. Oh, old version of Golang XSys. Okay, so basically, this is a mismatch problem because I had some previous version of Go, and now I've got a new version of Go, and the dependencies need to be updated to work with the newest version of Go. All right, so that's not so bad. All right, let's try this again then. Let's see. All right, so go mod tidy, go mod vendor. Try that. So the error message was just saying there's a mismatch between what's being recommended and what was in the modules. Well, okay. No such file or directory. All right. Let me go take a look at this again. Oh, right. Yeah, that doesn't matter. We're not there. So, okay, I'm not worried about that one. Let's go back to this examples add device and let's see what we get. Okay. So this was the result. I'm just going to go save all of this real quick. So this should end up being newbie.v2.telebit.io is going to be this computer connecting through Telebit. All right. Public key, shared key, slug, debug token. All right. So let's see what this actually means. Interesting. I'm actually... Okay, I think... So the machine PPID is supposed to come from the machine, the pseudonymous pairwise identifier of the machine. This is typically based off of the ID that's in the CPU die, as well as some magic that's hashed up with the operating system. And I think what I'm saying is ignore what it is and just use the secret as that as well. For test purposes, I go ahead and read my notes to myself. Try to update via the ping. Use the key to exchange the machine ID. Use key to connect to remote ping occasionally. Okay. So let's do token. Let me go check over here as well. So what we're doing is we're just creating a token that we can connect to the service, the Telebit relay service with from this Mac. And so what we're going to be able to do is, I'm not going to be able to do that the way I wanted to. We're going to end up with this URL. It's going to be newbie.v2.telebit.io. And then I should be able to run a simple web page on my computer here locally. And then you should be able to access that page. That's what we're building up to. All right, so is this right? This looks like exactly the thing that I just opened up. Okay, and then register the new device. My subdomain, yeah. Okay, so this looks right. All right, what is this API is not documented super well. Create a token with the same secret used with the management server and add a device by its subdomain. Okay. Show data of a single device. Sure, let's do it. But this device is not connected yet. Let me go look at the database. So let's go back over here. See if we can tail the database log. Ready to accept connections. Was shut down. So nothing that interesting there. And then in my bin folder, do I have yeah, I do. I have a PSQL connect. Good. Oh, really? I find this slightly hard to believe that there's not a database here. Is that true? That can't be true. Oh, it can. because it may not be exported. Aha. Indeed. Okay. That is the issue. So the local shell, since I opened it in screen a few days ago, this particular shell was already open before Postgres was installed. Hence, it didn't have Postgres. So I just needed to rerun pathman add, and then just so I could get the export out here to copy and paste. Okay. So we should see can select star from authorizations. I think we should only see 2 records. Oops. That looks about right. Looks like we have 2 records. So we've got the admin, which its slug is star, and then we have newbie. And I think the way this works is that I registered the so-called public key. So we got a shared key. Let me actually trim this down. So we're going to go with slug and then public key. There we go. Let's go ahead and add the shared key for good times. Okay. So I think what this was, let's see, where was this generated? Or was it not? Client subject. Devices, bearer, secret. All right, and then we did have this one. Oh, I wanted to rename that to a text file too. Okay, so we've got that inside. Shared key. Slug public key. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to follow the documentation to figure out what this was, because I think I'm not sure exactly how I was doing that there. Because what I sent was, I want to make a new token. I want to authorize a new device, this device, and then it's going to get back a shared key. That's the important thing. And then I need to be able to use that shared key over here. So we're going to go back to the very beginning of this. And this is what we're going to need here on our local client. So this client we're creating to connect to the service that we're running. I'm just going to go ahead and make a new directory real quick. I'm going to call it client. I should probably call it something better, such as demo client. Yeah, let's call it that so I don't get confused in the future. Oh, also a quick reminder from me to me via my bot to you. If you like what you like, consider if you blah, 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 blah. If you like what you like, you get more of what you like. So consider like, sub, follow if you want to. And there's a link to join in the Discord if you would like to do that. Okay. So secret device shared secret. Yes. All right, so let me go ahead, whoops, and grab a bunch of these. I need some better documentation for I'm just going to put this in here. So I think setting the PPID to the secret was some sort of special signal to identify it as an admin token as opposed to a device token, because the admin token, of course, has privileges to create device tokens. And so I think what I actually just did there was I created a pre-shared key for this device. So where here it says shared key, that's the pre-shared key that this device is never connected. And I think the public key is actually just the hash of the shared key, if I remember correctly. So it's creating a one-time password essentially that has a shared key and a public key that is usable only for this subdomain called newbie. And then I believe that once that's been used once, actually, does it have, I have to go check on the database columns here. Do we have a used at or something like that? Created at, updated at. Let's see if we have, I got created at, do we have updated at too? I'm kind of expecting some sort of signal that the thing has been used and that you couldn't use it multiple times. So one of the cool things, I don't know if this was actually deployed this way, but for the other client, one of the cool things that I enabled, just kind of so that there it would be easy to have multiple Telebit clients that have that can be easily differentiated, so that a Telebit client from one network can't communicate on another network. In the binary could be built in what the vendor ID is, as well as individual binaries could be distributed with the shared key. So you could distribute a binary that had the key in it that when the binaries run, it connects. And it can always connect, but you couldn't then copy that binary and put it on a different device because it would detect that the device is wrong. Because that's what the thing was with the machine ID. Does it have the machine ID here? Hold on, let me check. Public key, yeah, machine PPID. There we go. That's what's going to be null here. So if we check machine PPID, that is going to be null. Right. Okay. So you see that that's empty there. So on the very first use of this pre-shared key, it's going to fill in the machine PPID. And once that's filled in, that key can never be used on a different device that can't generate that machine PPID. So that's the little bit of cleverness that makes this easier to have unique. The download can be the deployment. So if with what I want to do, where I want to have the license baked into the binary, that's kind of a mechanism for doing this. Okay, now let's get back to, yeah, I should be back here. So I think, let's see. Oh no, that's not what I want to do. Go back. All right, let's get back to the shared key. Good, this is coming back to me now. I need to write the high-level overview of this for sure, because there are some high-level overview pieces that just have been missed. Okay, this is v2.telebit.io. Yeah, that's fine. Well, I guess All right, so that's okay. Actually, I prefer this. Test.v2.telebit. There we go. Almost kind of want to put the .io on there. Just for completeness. Okay, so we've got our shared secret. We've got the relay is going to be devices.v2.telebit. Oops. .io. Okay, and then we're going to port forward. I don't remember the difference between the locals and the TLS locals. I need to look at that again, but I think it's essentially how let's see. Whether or not it's supposed to oh gosh, I gotta remember this. I think locals is probably what I want to use most of the time, but it's something to do with whether or not TLS is terminated in Telebit or in the application that's receiving the TLS. So I'm not too worried about that one right now. Let me go back and check. Let's make sure that I actually got the right stuff here. Yeah, I need to. Let's go look at the example file for that because I did put good documentation in most of these. Like examples and then client.env. Let's see, what did I say about the TLS? Okay. Reverse proxy any matching request to the given local port. This does not terminate TLS. Reverse proxy any matching requests given the local port. This does terminate TLS. Okay. I have to think about that one. Oh. Right, because this actually allows for having multiple listeners on the remote incoming port. I don't remember how far that is towards being built out. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to leave that one alone. Yeah, I think we're going to leave all that alone. So I think I'm going to comment out this one because I think we want TLS to be terminated. And then we're just going to spin up a little web server on port 3000 just so that we can test that we can get a hello. All right. We don't need any of this, I don't think. Tunnel relay URL should be all that we need. v2.tel, yeah. So this should all be good, I think. I don't think we need anything more than what we have here in order to run the relay itself. So let me go ahead and run build relay. Well, so here's the funny thing. The relay and the client are actually the same. Okay, why did this want, oh, I know, for sudo, okay. So we're gonna say telebit relay, If we just go into demo client, it's actually the same if we just call it Telebit. All right, so then Telebit, and yeah, we could do verbose, and what else do we want to do here? Yeah, we could install Caddy, and we'll go ahead and do this too. So I'm just going to put Caddy in some junk folder here. Temp, new www, index.html, hello, from my MBP-M1. All right, so we'll go ahead and let that go locally. All right. And then let me see, what do we need to run this? Telebit env.env verbose. Okay, cool. Let's try that out. Okay, that did not work out the way that I was hoping. Let's see what went wrong here. Okay, error connecting into file. I guess that's good enough. So let's go through. All right, no match found for tunnel. Did I put tunnel somewhere that I should have put devices? Yes, that appears to be what happened. Tunnel. Interesting. Not quite sure how that happened. I'm a little bit confused here. Because somewhere I used tunnel. I must have. Okay. Oh, you know what it may have been? It may have been the, let's see, it's not here, right? Tunnel. Okay. Samples. Add device. Oh. .env. Tunnel. So somewhere, obviously, I have tunnel set as a name. Okay, here we go. Tunnel domain. So I'm going to change that to devices. That should be correct. Okay. Now let's try this one more time. Okay, cool. It is connected. Oh, interesting. We'll decrypt remote requests. Oh, interesting. Now, I think I remember what this is for. Okay, so there's this situation because Telebit running as a client can also function as a web server. I think what it's saying is if the web server bit of it receives a request locally, then it will handle TLS termination for those requests as well. Okay, so what we should be able to do, if all goes well, is we should be able to visit https newbie.v2.telebit.io, and within a few seconds, we should get a hello world. Now, it says this whole thing about certificate authority invalid. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. Why is it not secure? Certificate is not valid. Okay, so basically the certificate is valid. This is just one of those issues where it's a bug in Chromium. So it's also present in Brave and Chrome. But the bug is basically when the TLS certificate is issued within about, it could just be clock skew, actually. It could be that my local time is off by 1 second from other time. Whoops. From the time that the certificate was issued. Because if we look at this, let's see if we can look at details and see when it was issued. Because maybe it's not valid yet according to the time that's on my computer. So not valid before 11:43:25 Mountain Time. So right now it is 11:44. So this should be valid. I wonder if I can just refresh, because I've had problems where if the tab is open, let me go ahead and open it up on a different tab entirely. Yeah, okay. So this is just some bug. I should probably report this. Probably report it to the Brave people because they'll get to me sooner, and then maybe we could push it upstream. But this is just an issue that when the browser, when the certificate is, the instant the certificate is issued, it's also given to the browser. I think it's a matter of clock skew by a couple of seconds. It doesn't accept the certificate. And so the very first time you ever load it, or that anyone ever, the very first time it is loaded ever in a browser, period, the certificate shows up as invalid. And because that status is cached, even when you open it up in a new tab, sometimes it still shows as invalid in that browser. But if you open it in another browser, then it's fine. And then you'll never get that error again. Okay. So just to double check, HTTP, localhost, and then what was it, 3000? Index.html. I probably don't need to do that. Okay. Yeah. So we can see here, this works, but because it's catty, I can also do HTTPS on localhost. Oh, except I guess I didn't set it up that way, so it's not doing it. But this is great. So what we've just proven, this is a moment. This is one of those slow spin, gable around head. Da, 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 da. Yeah, this is one of those moments. We now have the full loop has happened, and um, I'm, if you, and go ahead and test this. So newbie.v2.telebit.io. I can be behind a VPN. I can be in a work environment. I can be at a bank. I could be in a government building. Essentially, this is no matter how harsh the network environment is, except for something that's specifically blocking Telebit. If Telebit itself makes it onto a block list, then this won't go through. If a web application firewall had a signature of the Telebit API, it could block this even in a decentralized world. So you could easily block the domain telebit.io, but what if we had 4,000 domains that were running Telebit services? You couldn't block all 4,000 domains. So if somebody were running their own Telebit for themselves, this is a massive, awesome tool for decentralization, being able to get network access through to devices under harsh network conditions. But the one thing that could happen is if Telebit became really popular, then somebody could develop a web application firewall that looks for a particular type of signature in terms of probably just cadence, because it's all encrypted. So they wouldn't be able to see what the token response looks like, but they might be able to figure out what to basically maybe. And this is a case where this actually might. Oh, I see that comment. I'll respond in just a second. This might actually be a case where machine learning actually does a real thing. You might be able to tell by the cadence and the size of the request response cycle, hey, this looks an awful lot like a Telebit connection, and be able to block it that way, especially if you notice, hey, this connection's staying open. The connection appears to be on port 443, but it's behaving in a strange way for connections on port 443, and that it's staying open, and that it seems to be getting data comes from port 443 on the internet, and then it appears to be responding immediately when it gets a request. And so that, if I'm not mistaken, there are already web application firewalls that can detect this sort of thing. I think primarily right now for SSH tunneling would be what it's used for. So, Zalo Milo, Allo, Milo. Have you played around headless CMS in Node? What do you mean by headless CMS? Are you talking about something like Hugo, except in Node? What? Strappy. I've heard of Directus. I don't know about Strappy. But Directus, well, what do you mean by headless? Because Directus, I don't think it was headless. Is Directus just an API? I'm pretty sure Directus has a management portal. So, not sure what you mean. What is it that you want to do, though? What are you hoping to accomplish? By the way, I got to throw a couple more happy sounds up because this was a market achievement.
This was a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success.
All right. Anyway, will you go ahead and try that link for me? The newbie.v2.telebit.io, and just confirm with me that we're both able to look at this page and it's not just me and that you also do not get the not secure. I wonder if there's a way for me to, because obviously I'm looking at the certificate right here. Obviously it's trusted. It says so. This certificate is valid. Use system defaults. Maybe I can switch to never trust and then always trust. Let me just try this. I'm going to go never trust, and then I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to say always trust, and then I'm going to go back here, and then I'm going to say system defaults. And then let's see if I can close this out, open it up again. It's so weird. You have to turn on warnings. Maybe I need to turn on warnings and then learn more or something. I just don't understand why it's doing this. Authority invalid. Verified, verified, verified. Invalid even though it's verified. Whatever. Okay. My client is looking for a tool that they can manage APIs without them coding it. That sounds like an oxymoron. But I don't think that that is what manage APIs without them coding it. So that these things don't make sense. And I could be misunderstanding, but I don't think you want a headless CMS. I think you want a CMS definitely with a head, because you want something that's going to give you all of the goodies, the WordPressy style goodies. And then you don't want to manage the APIs. You want to manage the data. You want to manage the context. You want to manage the pages without coding it. Correct me if I'm misunderstanding this, but I think either you've got this terminology flipped around, or I'm just not hip on, well, particularly with the idea of a headless CMS, I'm just not hip on what that means. But or the way that you're phrasing this, the manage APIs without coding, that doesn't make sense to me. So could go either way on that, though. Might be that I'm not understanding it correctly, or that you are using the terminology you're familiar with, but is not the terminology that I believe is correct. And I often get tripped up on literal things like this, because programming is very literal, and I expect it to be literal, and it's hard for me to read through the lines a lot of the times when things don't match up. I kind of get a parser error. Okay. Anyway. Cool. So now what we need to do is we need some sort of payment bit. And this I want to build out nodes. So basically the part that we just demonstrated that works, I wanted to demonstrate that it works before I go making changes to it. But and it's not a ton of code, but we're basically going to ignore that code exists, and we're going to go rewrite that authorization process in Node so that we can use the Node tooling that we're building for Dash Checkout. So that's kind of where we're at. And I want to go back over here. Okay. And let me, do I want to do that? No. What did I want to do? I do kind of want to do that, actually. Yay. That's nice and fast, too. It's so snappy. It's going all the way out to DigitalOcean and back very quickly. So excited to have this in Go, where I have a lot easier control over the performance of it. Anyway, what was I going to? Oh, so we're going to go take a look at the code real quick. I just kind of want to show the complexity that we're dealing with here. So this is probably command management, and there's not much. I don't think there's going to be much in this file for us to really look at. Okay. Interesting. Hmm. Okay, so we've got this auth store. We've got this master secret thing. I don't know if we're going to need to replicate that. Yeah, none of this is super important to what we're doing here. I think I need to look at this internal management, internal auth store. And so in Go, when you have the folder internal, it's a good way for you to, I think that this is similar to the friend class type in other languages. You're saying within this parent package, all of its children packages that are internal can have public access to each other, but that public access doesn't then bleed out into the real world. So you can have public access between your sub packages, but not not have it not have it bleed out. So the parent package and all the children packages all have access to each other, but not outside of the repository, which is nice if you are not yet ready to publish certain parts of your API. So let me see. We've got route devices. I think devices is kind of an important piece here. Yeah, so we've got the route handler for devices. I'd actually like to revisit this and do what I now always do, which is, well, move the handlers, leave the handlers here, but move the routing out. So that we could see from the top level in the routes what all this stuff is. Okay. I'm not going to do that now. So anyway, we've got devices. All right, this is just auth stuff. All right, so this is the management token. Can access these portions. Yeah, devices. Let's see. Slug delete. Okay, I don't think this is actually that. This is pure management stuff. So the idea with this one was that you're not going to have new user signups, that the devices are going to be managed by this management service. So if you want to add a new device, you're going to first add it to the management service, and then you're going to provision the device. That's kind of the model that this is based around, which is different from the model that we want to go for the public service. Okay, Acme routes. I don't think we need to. We do. This is still going to handle Acme routes. We don't have to worry about that. Let me just take a look at auth.go real quick. Okay, we got a ping. We got the register. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. GMT. This is just some fluff. Kind of, sorta. Yeah, stutters, indeed. Indeed, it does stutter. Huh. Wonder why I named it that. Maybe I already have claims somewhere else in here. Yeah, okay, because I've got standard claims. And then I called it MGMT claims, but that does stutter. That's not necessary. The linter is correct. As it, I think, always is. That's one nice thing about the Go tooling is the Go tooling, you can, it's tooling you can believe in. All right, so we've got the Git challenges. That's good. We've got our recover. We've got our timeout. I like the way they handled that. And Chi has, I've started using a few Chi patterns in Node because it is pretty good patterns. I like, it's just a little bit better design than Express. I mean, Express is a pretty darn good design. It's pretty simple, especially as they iterated through more versions of it. They made it simpler and simpler. And Chi, I don't know if it's designed to model after Express. It does kind of seem that way with route, use, get, but it's definitely more Go-ish and it's got more structure to it. Okay. I don't like that. Contains any. This needs to be more explicit. Also, it seems like that should just be this to be more clear. Pipe? Oh, these are characters that are not allowed for file systems. Yeah, this should be more explicit because you just read this, this is not clear. So, disallow FS characters. Right, because I'm going to be reading from the FS there. Oh no, what's all that about? Darn it, I didn't want it to jump around like that. Okay, what is it? I always forget. VN? No. SN? No. GN? No. Is it split? SN? No, it's not SN. It's a split screen. Let me go look this up real quick. I need to, after, 15 years of learning Vim, I should learn how to use the daggone screens. Vim, toggle panes. I'll call them Vim splits. It is SP, right? Oh, okay. Control W. Got it. Oh, no, I didn't want a new one. Okay. Control W. Down. Got it. Okay. See, why don't I get this with the TypeScript hinting? Why don't I get the nice full error messages? Anyway. So we got the route all. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So really this is kind of an init function, but it's one that doesn't need to happen until routing happens. So it kind of makes sense that it's there. API. What was the API that we actually used to get this thing connected? Let me see. Maybe I need another one of these. Yeah, I think I do. So we're going to go boop, samples, add device. All right, so adding the device was just that. And then I think it's actually the token inspect endpoint. Let me look for inspect. Yeah, management URL inspect. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to split our management URL from our Acme URL. And I don't think that that's a problem. I think that we basically already have that. If we look in the env file, there's the, where's that? Not here. Somewhere. Let's see if we look at, okay. Yeah, so there's the Acme relay URL right here. And I think that that does need to follow the same authorization. If I'm not mistaken, I should go check that out. I should make sure, yeah, I should make sure that that actually does route out to the authorization server, because we might get ourselves in a pickle here. Oh, bless me. I got the do burps, as I usually do. Hello and welcome. I'm AJ. What's your name? What brings you here tonight? What time is it where you are? It's 12:09 a.m. for me, which is a good time. All right, hold on. What was I just doing? I am looking for the management server. Yeah, okay. I wanted to look inside the management server. And I wanted to see if under the routes, where we have the relay, let's see, where do we have the relay? Acme relay. Internal. Okay, internal management, Acme routes. I just wanted to check how we're handling the authentication for this. So handle DNS routes. Actually, this is a misnomer at this point. I think I'm going to just put that in my notes to myself real quick. Okay. Rename handle DNS routes to handle Acme challenge routes. Because that, or could be called Acme presenter routes. Because it's not actually about DNS anymore. That's what it was initially. Okay, yeah, so all of these seem to be in the right place. Where I'm a little bit confused is where handle Acme challenges. Okay, that's right here. Create challenge, lead challenge, blah, 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 blah. I do need to take a look at that. Let me go back into routes here. Handle DNS routes. Okay. So where I need to take issue with this is going to be right here. Because essentially I need a group that uses this, but this group will not use this. And I'm not sure if... Yeah, so handle DNS routes. It needs to do one better. Yeah, maybe I'll just rename this to handle Acme routes right now. I don't think that's going to hurt anything to do that. Oh yeah, I am local. Good. So let's see. Have I changed anything yet locally? Oh my. Woo. Woo. So let's do this. Go mod tidy, go mod vendor, add vendor, add go dot star. And then I don't want to really change anything else. I'm just going to say this is fix update depths for go 1.18. Okay. Okay, now I should just be able to do this, and we can do it. Let's see, where are the places that we need to do this? Probably just under internal mgmt star.go, and maybe internal mgmt auth store. No, that should be it. It should just be there. Handle DNS routes. Good. Not showing up anywhere else. Handle Acme routes, challenge routes. And just in those two places, great. So I'm just going to get rid of that misnomer. Oh, what else have I changed here, though? Let's see if we can isolate this. Oh yeah, that's pretty tame. So if we just do add internal, then we can just say chore rename handle DNS routes to handle Acme challenge routes. All right. By the way, feel free to ask questions, make comments. I realize Tuesday's not always the fun night for everybody, but let's make it as fun as we can. That's interesting. Examples, internal. Okay, that's good. All right. So what do I need in order for this to work well? I think I have a problem with a few, let's see, provider, right? Yeah. So that's provider, but then this is provider. So I think we have a problem here where I have some init in the management stuff that really needs to move out. Store and provider. I don't think I use the store. Let's do this again. Okay. I don't think I use the store anywhere in anything to do with Acme. Okay, good. So what really needs to happen then is we need to move that init. It probably shouldn't even be an init at all. Delete challenge, present, cleanup, handle Acme challenge routes. I think I actually do need to export this, although I don't know under what name I want to export it presently. And we probably need to have this init right here. We don't need to do the auth store. I kind of need to put this in its own sub package is what I'm feeling right now. Because we need this to be able to do authorization apart from the other bits that we're about to replace with node. And again, the reason that we're going to replace it with node is because we're building out this dash checkout in node. Okay, and it's redeclared in this product. That makes sense. Internal Acme routes. How about that? Call it Acme strategy. So we're going to move from MGNT Acme routes to internal Acme strategy. No, I think it actually should just be called Acme routes. So let's do that. Acme strategy, internal Acme routes. Okay, so that means that internal Acme, oops. Let's see where Acme routes is being used in MGMT. Nowhere, right? Because it's going to be the handle Acme challenge routes. It's going to be an internal route here. So this is going to be Acme routes dot handle challenge. Let's see if our tooling's working properly. No. Sin control. What is? Don't even. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna edit my vemrc, and we're gonna put. Do I have any leader stuff in here? All right, so that's how we. Oh, I already have that thing for clearing out the error buffer. Duh. That's okay. We're gonna go with leader W is going to be the same as control W. Is that correct? I'm not sure if that's correct. We'll find out here in just a second. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. But I already have that. Cool. I forgot that I made space clear the error buffer, but I did. Okay. Presenters and cleanups. Let's take a look at that. Presenters. Yep. Okay. So that, I'm going to move that over to here. Whoops. I think I'm just going to move that into a init. Or, no, it needs to be up above a init because these are shared. Nope, not what I wanted to do. Provider. Yeah, so this is all this needs to move then. Yeah. Undeclared name provider. Okay, let's see where that is over here. Just one more place. All right. Handle Acme challenge routes. Allows storing Acme challenges for relay. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I probably don't want that to be this way here. Okay, so create challenge. Yeah, I don't know that we actually want this. I think that we'd have to move that out into a different package. Just this bit about claims here. Because they're not so much MGMT claims as they are just auth claims. I have to think on that for a second. Let me get out of here again. Figure out how... Now, is this going to be Acme routes dot... No. Now, where are we calling MGMT dot init? Let's go check that out. All right, the same place that we're calling the init here, probably also ought to be calling Acme routes dot init like this. And then hopefully my tooling, undeclared name Acme routes. You know why? Because in this right here, we didn't actually change the name to Acme routes, and we do need to do that. Also, may not be loading properly. Oh, there we go. Now that loaded. See, automatically imported. I think we also want to isolate the auth out of MGMT so that we can use that in a relay portion. Acme routes, Acme routes. All right, so let me think about how I want to handle this. Let's look at MGMT claims. How many places are they used? It's used in devices, used in routes, it's used in Acme routes. So I think, what kind of packages do we have here in internal? We've got Acme routes, MGMT service, tools. What the letter L? Oh, I know what tools is for. Tools is for tools. Duh. Okay. VFS gen, that sort of thing. Oh yeah, I need to be putting my my tools under internal. I need to make a note for that for my Go presentation later. Okay. Anyway, let's do internal, and we're just going to call this package auth, I think. Do we have auth already here? We do have auth already here. Okay, so I don't actually want to call it auth because I don't want to have to rename anything. So instead, let's not call it auth. Call it auth tools. That's fine for now. Auth utils, maybe. Author. Yeah, that will be confusing. Best not to be cute. I'll just call it auth util. And then what can we move over? Let's see what auth.go is like. Success response, ping, register. We don't really need to worry about any of that. I'm more worried about the MW key. Which is just defined here. So I'm not going to, again, I'm not going to rename it right now. All right. Here we are. I think it's, is it called context.value? There you go. Take a look. Where was that again? MW key. Yeah, it is context.value. All right, fair enough. So nothing too cray-cray there. But where? Okay, how is this actually happening? Parse with claims. Yeah, it seems like this kind of thing kind of belongs in that other place. Might wanna move this over. We shall see. But in any case, let's see. MW key. Replace that with auth util.mw key. And that should be fine. And then all of the MGMT claims, same thing. Well, first let me go into devices here. And we're going to do, yeah, we're going to do that one. And then MGMT claims, let's take a look, just in 3 files. Buff, go to bed yourself, Spence. I don't need to go to bed. I'm just waking up, okay? Check yourself before you wreck yourself, as they say. Okay, why is this upset with me? And don't tell me it's because I didn't go to bed, because that's not true and you know it. Oh, this should be called auth util. Why in the world did it not call it that from the folder name? Sleep is a secret power for noobs. Real men use caffeine and die early. Do you really want to be old and decrepit for the rest of your life? No. You're going to burn your best years when you burn your brightest. Getting old is an old man. Is it getting old is a young man's game? No, wait. I don't know if that's going to work out for me. Right, internal route MGMT claims. All right, JWT standard claims, JSON slug. Righto. So we're going to move this over. This probably could be duplicated the way that this is looking, well, the key can't be duplicated is the problem. The MW key can't be duplicated. And we're trying to provide a type guard. But this is so small, this could have been duplicated. That would have been absolutely fine. All right, so let's find all of mgmt claims and then replace that with auth-util.claims. And we'll do this across internal, looks like star.go. Includes slug for backwards compatibility. Now I'm confused. Route static. Handles less than dynamic routes. Not so dynamic routes. Telebit, yeah. So Telebit is similar to ngrok. It's kind of for a different purpose, but the technology that powers it is similar. And there's a lot of overlap in terms of purpose, but this was really designed for, oh, I think get Acme challenges should be one of these things that's in Acme routes, not get Acme challenges. I'm going to change this over here. Okay, let's move that and then go back into internal Acme routes, and then we're going to do the same thing here. So, all right, file path, that shouldn't be a problem. All right, kit, yay for tab complete. All right, have a good night, Spence. Hey, you're doing the meetup. Is it this Thursday? Yeah, this Thursday. You're our man, right? Okay. Present is unused. What in the world? There's a gaggle of cats outside. Do y'all hear that on the stream? I think there's got to be at least 3 of them. Huh. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. All right. I'm looking forward to it, Spence. You have a good night. Yeah, it sounds like there's 10 of them, but I bet just 3 could make that much noise. I think there's got to be at least 3 because of the way you get that harmony of 2 of them going together, and then there's one that seems to be cutting in between. I want to go out and find out what it's all about. Okay, provider. Okay, so that solves a problem. Is unused. So I guess our problem here is that we're going to have Acme provider exported. Acme provider. Or maybe this didn't do anything. Maybe we really don't need that. I should double check on this here. All right, the cats seem to have stopped. Hey everybody, how's it going? Just programming with the cats. They're stuck in the inner tubes outside. Okay. So I just gotta actually double check here. Acme provider. Is this really not used anywhere? Because it may be that it's not used anywhere. That doesn't seem quite right. But it may be. That may be Cruft. Let's try one of this one more time. So clean up, Acme provider, clean up, clean up, clean up, clean up, clean up, clean up, clean up. Yeah, this may be garbage. I'm going to try just commenting it out and see what happens. I think what happened was I made it unnecessary to have this thing. Yeah, because it's just wrapping around something else. And I think that the wrapping might not any longer be necessary. It may have to do with when I switched from the previous version of Magic Cert to the next version of Magic Cert. Okay, I do need to get my static check file in here. Let's do static check. Nope. Static check.conf. I could look for, hold on. Okay, good. Telebit. Sync. Boop, boop. What? Oh, right. There we go. Okie dokie day. Now what was it I was looking at? I was trying to figure out. Oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and add static conf here, just as a chore. Should have done that earlier. Okay. Now let's go back here. Do we get any gripes? No, no gripes. Good. Okay, yeah, so I think that it may be safe to just delete that. Let's see where we're at in terms of building this thing. Oh, wow. Did we build it? I'm kind of surprised that that builds again already. I kind of would like to get rid of this. I think that there may be a use for it. For example, we have the type and we have the chan, and that in of itself is useful. But yeah, we could probably get rid of that. That's just a artifact of, like I said, going between Magic Cert and Acme Z versions. All right. So that init's looking pretty good. Got our get Acme challenges. All right, what else? What else do we need here? Let's take a look. All right. Move some files. Oh, I remember what else I wanted to do. So where we have the Get Acme challenges, we need to leave that in place, but we need to have it use the same auth that the relay itself is going to use. I guess this would allow us to put it inside the relay if we want to. We'll see. Hey, well, hello everybody. I'm AJ. Welcome. Feel free to ask questions and go on tangents and all the things. Okay, so wait, this could not have built. Yeah, because we don't have this yet. Route all should have comment or be exported. Yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Get Acme challenge is not declared by auth util. Yes, because that is, so route all will generate the routes. Yeah, okay. And then this is actually Acme routes. It's going to be handling Get Acme challenges. Okay. That one does not need any sort of authentication. Oh, and a reminder from me to me, from my bot to me to you. If you like what you like, you have more of what you like. So consider like, sub, follow, etc. if you want to. If you find this useful, entertaining, you like the sound of my voice because it helps you fall asleep at night, whatever it may be. And you are welcome to join the Discord if you would like. And there's a link there to that. Also, creedsofcraftsmanship.com if you want to watch the excellent software engineering videos that I am curating at creedsofcraftsmanship.com. And of course, webinstall.dev for all of your web dev needs, tools. Okay, so looking back at this again, all right, so that my issue is we've got this whole bit of verification that I kind of want to sidestep. So I think what I want to do is I need to find out where was that inspect at? Telebit admin proxy handle func. Okay. Proxy handle func. Auth URL. Yes. Serve HTTP. First auth URL. Okay. Register device. All right. Yeah, so all of these are just getting proxied. And that's fine. Where are we actually calling inspect though? Because this in of itself doesn't handle a new authorizer. There we are. Where is new authorizer? I think that needs to be put into the auth util package. I think that's my problem. Okay, let's see how much novel code is in here. Looks like 100% this can move without a problem. Okay, so I'm going to take this. Well, I'm just going to move the file. Internal Telebit authorizer. Move this into internal auth util. And then I need to go into internal auth util authorizer. And then we just need to change this to auth util. Okay. And that should be good enough. New authorizer will create, what exactly does this do? Takes requests and then returns back the grants. I don't know if that's good enough. We have the inspect. Yeah, we need to figure that out. Okay, so inspect needs to move over here as well. That's fine. That shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Create a new auth verifier. Proxyable. Is that even a word? Apparently not. I think it is. I think that spell check is wrong. Let's try it out. Proxyable. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, take that, Vim spell. Proxyable. Boom. I wonder if authorizer is supposed to be with an O. Yeah, it's less upset about it then, it seems. Nope, it still didn't like it either way. That's fine. Okay, so I need to move inspect over as well. So let's go find inspect. Inspect. Right there. Telebit. Inspect. Does this need to get used anywhere else? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, and I bet the grants. Let's see, yeah, we probably need to take grants with us. What else are we going to need to take with us? At least these two. So I'm going to go ahead and grab them. And then let's look for authorizer. Okay. Grants, yeah. Grants. That's actually should be claims. Are verified claims. Yeah. I think that's the difference between a grant and a claim. And it's going to return authorizer. Okay, so we got to go get that. Okay, fine. Authorizer. And that is located in, also in Telebit. Interesting. Authorizer. Oh, it's just a type def? Grants. Okay, seems simple enough. So I'll move this over here as well. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, yeah. Inspect will verify a token and return its details decoded. All right, and then, okay, so now we have to have a request. If you give a mouse a cookie. Okay, I'm just going to look for request. See how many places we have this thing used. We got do request. Let's go ahead and look for /b, \b, excuse my language, \b. So where is this used? So we have it used in the auth bits. So really, yeah, this kind of belongs to auth util, as it were. I don't know if I really want to. Let's see, request. Internal auth util. I'm just going to call it request.go. Okay. Request makes an HTTP request. The way we like. I guess that, that is true. That's the unique bit about it. Okay. And then what are we saying here? Request. Okay, the request to the ping. URL ping. Register. Auth URL? Where else do we have? Interesting. So I almost think that these actually don't belong here. Where's ping being used? Management.ping. Yeah, okay. I think that this bit here, um, I think that it really belongs elsewhere. So let me go ahead and just chuck this elsewhere and see what happens. So internal auth util request. I think this is kind of where this goes. Kind of like putting the types up top. By the way, feel free to ask questions. Oh, auth store. That's not good. Big dog. I don't know. No one's called me big dog before. What's up, Bandalane? Bandalene? Now come on, Eileen. Ba da 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 da. Ba da da. Okay, auth store authorization. Uh-oh. Okay, now I'm in trouble. Yeah, register doesn't belong here. All right, this one I'm going to take back. Okay, whoa. Okay, register can go back here. We can do ping. We can change to auth-util.ping. I'm comfortable with that. So */***.go, right? And then */*****.go. Oh. Yeah, okay, this should still work. All right, I'm going to have to figure out... There's got to be some common stuff, but there's got to be some unique stuff. I don't actually remember. None much, bro. Just chilling. How are you? I am just coding right along. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. All right, so I know I need that piece over there. Just trying to figure out where the pieces go. All the pieces to the puzzle. All right. So I do need to define the API of how things are authorized. Does that belong in Auth store? That's part of the question here. Is Auth store where that belongs to go? Belongs to where that should go. So authorization. Okay, let me look at authorization. That's too generic. Let's look for MGMT and let's see if we're using it. Okay, good. So that's good. It's very odd that I didn't use key pairs here. Or maybe it's not, because the key pairs lib, as the name would suggest, doesn't support HMAC JWT. And I wanted HMAC JWT because I wanted to base things off of a shared token. I have to rethink that strategy in the future, but for right now, it's the right way to go. Okay, so I'm almost at a point where I've got the auth bits that I need for the node service that's going to have dash checkout separated from the Acme bits. I think what I need to do, internal MGMT under routes. I think I need to just the fact that it's verified should be enough. What language is this? This is Golang. This is the most important language that you can learn because, well, a lot of reasons. Obviously, high dollar language. It's what all of the internet has essentially been rewritten in the last decade. So all cloud services, if you've heard of Kubernetes or Docker or Caddy, gosh, what's the other one that's kind of like Caddy? I often forget its name. I don't know. It's one of the other ones. All of the internet has basically been rewritten in Go because Google made it as a language for, well, not Google. I don't want to. Google sponsored Rob Pike to make it as a language for networking. I use Vim. So if you do bang Vim in the chat, it'll give you a link to some Vim resources. But yeah, that's what we have here. I like to keep it nice and lightweight. Yeah, Go is, and it depends on what you're doing. If you're developing Android apps, Go is not a replacement for Java in that regard. But if you're doing anything that's backendy, Go is a far better alternative to Java. Okay, so keep on bouncing around on this thing. I need to pull, let me go grab my Acme routes. This one right here. This we need to pull out. It needs to be pulled up to here. I guess I need a group is what I need. I need to go look at that. We've got this handler. I want to get this out. Into a place where it can have a name. If I'm not mistaken, we can give it a name. Let's say authorize request. So, or get verified claims. Claims is a technical term to mean stuff that's on an authorization token. So this is going to be get verified claims. I don't remember if we can put a function like this in the mid-level. I don't think you can. Let's see how that works. So if I try to pull this out all the way, I think it's going to have a gripe because some stuff is going to be missing. Doesn't seem to have a gripe there. Only gripe is undeclared name auth util. Okay. No, auth util is right there. So why is it griping about that? Is that in a different file that it's griping? Yeah, it's griping in a different file. Okay. There we go. Now it's not griping about that anymore. Okay. No, bang. Bang as in so bang is exclamation is called bang. So if you do bang vim, there you go. Um, Yeah, I really recommend learning the basics. And so I think Vim is pretty basic. Um, I'm not a fan of the big heavy stuff. I like things that are just pretty simple. Okay, so does that have we don't access R in here, right? Just R as request. R as and Go is a far simpler language than Java. Go is basically it's spiritually it's a successor to Python. So it's intended to be incredibly simple. Literally, part of the marketing slogan for it is you can learn it in a weekend. It's a very, very small language that has a very robust standard library that's very well documented. Okay, so now I've got that route. I need to go check out Chi. All right, Golang Chi group. So I need to use group because I need a group under API that will use the authentication, um, and a group that won't. Okay, that's about. Yeah, that should be good. Cool. So we're going to do r.group. I think use onto the router stack. Inline router routing path with fresh middleware stack for the inline router. Let's see. I want to look at use a little bit more because I'm curious to know if it follows the pattern where everything after a use will use that and things before it won't. Because if that's the case, then maybe I don't even need to group this. Yeah. Let me go look at the documentation. The go ref here. And I think what I want is right here. Let's see if I can find I want the documentation for use. The middleware stack for any mux will execute before searching for a matching route to a specific handler, which provides opportunity to respond early, change course, request execution, or set request codes for the next handler. Okay, I'm going to go look. Actually, before searching for a matching route. So I think this is the key right here. It says we'll execute before searching for a matching route. So if I'm understanding that correctly, it would be silly to do something like this and put use after things because the middleware stack is going to execute before the matching stack. Let me see. Can we, yeah, I don't think we can route that. Yeah, so I think I have to use group here. I think group is the right tool for the job. Okay, so I'm going to have a group where I'm going to handle the Acme routes. And then I'm going to have another group where I handle a bunch of other routes. Yeah, I think that's how that's going to go. And then this one, I'm actually going to have the same behavior that is in the other Telebit bit. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. I'm AJ O'Neill. I guess y'all are just waking up on Wednesday. Is that what's going on right now? Logging in, booting up the coffee, booting up the Twitches. AJ, how did you know it's Wednesday? You have a weird accent for someone that would know it's a Wednesday. Yeah, I know. Comes with the, wait for it, territory. Actually, that doesn't quite work as a pun because I'm not Canadian. Okay. Although someone thought I was Canadian because of the way I said some things. I was probably too polite. Okay, new cert magic. All right, it's griping at me about that. I needed to grab, where was it doing the inspecting here? Auth util, no. Okay. Telebit admin here. Authorizer there. So let's go back to the authorizer real quick. Yeah, I think I did need that. New authorizer. New authorizer. Where was that being used? That was being used in admin here. So let's go check that out. Authorizer. And that was giving us grants. Interesting. Okay, I know why this is now, because we wanted that to work with WebSockets too. Okay, auth util. We're going to move this over. Okay. Go into auth util, authorizer, and then we're going to drop this right there. Okay. Interesting. Is that really it? There's only two places this is used? Yeah, that makes sense. Actually. Okay, so I'm going to bring this same bit over into basically the Acme routes. I guess it really should go in here. This is where it should go. Is where we're creating this sub router. Right here. Okay, r.use. And then functions are, I need to go look at this again. There we go. Chi router. And then what am I doing? So So I don't need to worry about auth util because we're in auth util, right? No, we're not. No, we're not. So we do need to still worry about that. What is it I like about this? Cannot use HTTP handler. Okay, let me go check that out again real quick. So oh, and then we're going to call next. Is that what this is? Yeah, okay, got it. So at the end we call next. Got it, got it, got it. Okay, so serve. I remember this now. By the way, feel free to ask questions. Um, okay, so it's upset that I've got. Oh, okay, so something's way off here. So this is not correct right there. This should be correct. Okay, now it's doing a little bit better. Okay, but we need to have that authorizer same as, okay, let me go back into over here. We're doing authorizer equals, basically same concept. So we should have the authorizer right up here, which means, interesting. Maybe I shouldn't put the authorizer in here, actually. Okay, I'm actually convinced that this is not the place where this should go. That this should be left free of entanglements with how the auth is actually being done. It's just assumed that once you get here, the auth has been done. I think that's fair. So we'll go back to our router over here. We'll go back to the group bit, and then this is the right place for this to happen. And then this would be auth-util.new authorizer, if I'm not mistaken. And then we need to somehow attach those grants and do something with them. Or I guess we don't, because all that's necessary for this is to know that the thing is allowed, I think. Let's see what I had before. Okay, we got get verified claims. Get verified claims. So maybe on the grants, we still need to do some of this checking. I need to go figure out what the inspect was all about. Where do we have... Does all of this happen with the inspect or no? That's another thing I need to double check on. So here we have the request. We have the inspect here, don't we? No. Inspect. Where's that happening at? Inspect is happening. It is happening in auth util. Okay. Auth token string inspect. Okay. So if I go back, looking at this, inspect does what? It errors out if there's no such claims. So audience domains. Interesting. Okay, so subject, audience, slug, device domain. All right, I need to think a little bit more about this. I think the subject is going to be the slug, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am mistaken. What was subject assigned to? Yeah, slug. Is that always true? What was slug assigned to? Okay, so we have here subject and slug are going to be the same thing. I wonder why that is, but we're going to roll with it. Okay, so that works for this case. So basically, where is it that I wanted to check? Oops. I wanted to check for, okay, where are we matching against the star slug? And that happens in two places here. Might want to just take this one. What? Did I grab the wrong file? Grants dot, oh, subject. Yeah, that makes sense. We don't need to worry about admins there. Don't want to look at that. All right, then I think I want to go back to devices here. Or maybe I do want to go to Acme routes. Let me go check out Acme routes again one more time. Is slug allowed? Okay, URL param domain and then claims.slug. Where are the claims coming? Okay. Okay. I think I see what's going on here and what I need to be worried about. So, all right, clean slate again. I need to make sure that I create claims in the route that is handling the Acme bit here. So these grants, from these grants, I do need to set some claims. So let me go look for MW key again. Yeah, so we got this kind of thing going on. All right, let's see if I can figure out. I think it's just auth-util.claims. Auth-util.claims. And I think we can do the same thing. Grants.subject. Subject, grants.subject. and then I do need to have some way that auth URL is going to come from somewhere. Just mark this as to do for the moment. To do use claims rather than grants, because basically we have these grants are the verified claims, and it would be better if I wanted to have a distinguishment between grants and claims in terms of these are verified and these are speculative, I probably would be better off just doing a new type of it rather than having different types. The different types just came as a result of evolution of the code. They're not super intentional. All right. With value. And then what I do here, at some point, yeah, R with context. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So this one, there we go. What's up, Evan Codes? How you doing? So that's where I need to put in the auth URL. And it would be nice if I could make my authorizer function so that the get verified claims versus the authorizer could actually be the same thing, have the same signature. So I could use them interchangeably. So I could say, oh, if I'm using the management server, that's the Go management server for both the authorization, the device management, and the Acme Let's Encrypt management, then don't actually make an external request to the server itself. Because the way that it's implemented right now, it's going to be doing a full loop back on itself. And with just a little bit of cleanup, I wouldn't do that. So I would say to do consolidate authorizer and what was the other one called? I think it's called get verified claims. Yeah, that's what I need to do. That'll make that nice and sweet. Pretty good. How about you? Well, I'm just coding away. I already had a good. Oh, I'm wearing the headphones, so I can't do the turn quite smoothly. But I did a good turn daily already today. So let's say I'm doing pretty good. The thing I'm working on, in case you're interested in the website for it, it's telebit.io. And the version that's currently deployed is in Node. And I had written a new version in Go. And it's been about 2 years. And I was going to deploy it any day, And now I'm working through getting it to the point where I can deploy the new Go version, which has several advantages. One, it's a lot easier to refactor, to get more control over how any aspect of the networking works in either the client or the relay. It's a lot easier to deploy because I can ship a binary. It's going to be easier to build the payment system around this, which that's what I'm working on right now. Is there's a few kind of pluggable API pieces and I'm separating the piece that is handling the Let's Encrypt Acme challenges from the general user management, because the general user management I'm actually going to be writing in Node so that it's going to be easier to integrate it with dash checkout. And if you I do work for the Dash incubator, which is a digital currency. Um, and so this kind of all coming around full circle. Okay, let me go check Auth util claims. Oh, is this JWT standard claims? I think that's what's going on here. And then do this like that. Is that how we're doing it? Okay, that's the way it's working out. Got it. Oh, and I need to get where that CTX came from. There we go. Okay. Noise. Indeed. So there have been a few great and terrible mistakes I've made in my life outside of relationships, just in regard to code. If we stick to just kind of business decisions, there have been a few great mistakes I've made in my life. And the second greatest mistake that I've made is not monetizing Telebit, because it gets new users every single day. And people ask frequently if they can get a pro version with additional features. And when you have something that's you're just letting sit for years, and you're constantly every day getting new user sign up emails every single day, you're retarded if you're not, you know, fostering that. So, yeah, because, most people never is, yeah, never, most people never make a product that's successful. So if you actually happen to make something that people want and you don't, I don't know, it's just, it's dumb. It's dumb. So that's been stupid. You're watching the money come and go right across your face. Yeah, that's right. And yeah, I'd be in a very different position. Yeah, a similar tool. It's kind of for a different purpose. It has a different licensing model, because this is meant to be more for the decentralized web. So the licensing model must be different because it has to support people building on top of this as a protocol rather than just it being only a product unto itself. Because you can't build a scalable product if your license costs scale the wrong way, right? If you need one license and then three license costs significantly more and 100 licenses cost significantly more, which is kind of how most of the cloud models work today, and you can't white label and not white label, that's not the correct term, it's kind of the same thing, but tenanting. If you can't have a tenanted application, um, then you can't create something that is peer-to-peer or decentralized, because the the cost of the license outscales the um, the ability to provide the service. So, but anyway, I hardly anybody, if anybody, I don't know if anybody knew about ngrok yet when I had created this. Um, I think they kind of came out maybe around similar times, and Yeah. And then I did stupid and I didn't invest in it. And now they're huge. I'm developing something for my university. I was originally going to do it for free, but then one of my professors said I should license it out to the school and potentially other schools in the future. Yeah. Yeah. He's probably right. You want to create products that are sustainable that people can rely on. The reason that we have the terrible issues of the cloud that we have today where nobody can own their data, nobody knows where their stuff is, it comes out of a legitimate real problem that we had back in the 90s called dial-up. But we haven't had that problem in a long, long time. And the problem that developers offered the tools to build their own prison. You know, everybody wanted to make everything open source. And then Google and Amazon and Microsoft snatched it all up and then built paywalls around it. And so everybody built all of these really, really hardcore technologies that were worth hundreds of millions of dollars in aggregate, if, well, more than that, billions of dollars in aggregate. And there was no funding model for the people who were creating the stuff. And businesses that were looking for ways to capture value in their value chain were successful in that. And so all of that effort that went into this goodwill of, oh, we're going to make the world a better place, it's going to be decentralized, and people are going to be more empowered, knowledge is power, blah, blah, blah. It literally became a knife. They provided the knives with which they would be stabbed in the backs. So you actually, it is a moral imperative to have a licensing model if you want that creates a value chain, if you want to arrive at goals that are in line with your beliefs. Shouldn't have offered to do it for free in the very beginning. Well, when you're in uni, you make lots of mistakes. I think we still have that problem some places in the United States. Uh, yeah, I mean, well, you're just excited, you know, and the idea that somebody's interested in something that you created. When you get one person interested in what you're creating, it's really motivating because in a lot of ways, I think we, as developers, we feel like artists, and I think that if that can be true and just if your art is the new functionality that you bring to the world. Um, but it's something that's so incredibly valuable to us. We're just nerds and we like to tinker. Uh, but what we create ends up being functional. What we are essentially internalizing as crossword puzzles. I'm imagining this is kind of how it is for you. Solving a programming problem is kind of like solving it's a little bit of the high that someone else gets from solving a crossword puzzle. But what we're creating has real value, distributable value, and scalable value, whereas a crossword puzzle does not. So the thing that we do for fun that doesn't really strike us as being much more valuable than a crossword puzzle, it ends up that it is. Let's see. The motivation to make the app was for betterment of something on campus that meant a lot to me ethically. Yeah, exactly. So I thought it was wrong to license it at first, licensing something that saves people. And then I'm not sure what the starting a new Minecraft map was in regards to. I guess the art. Yeah. I've seen some awesome stuff done with Minecraft. Music videos in particular, are the things that have been really interesting to me, the way that that's worked out. Okay, I need to go look at the claims real quick, how I'm using the claims. I think I'm almost done with this. And then I'm almost done, could mean another hour, but um, I think then I'm going to call it a night. Let's see, where am I doing the claims here? But I'm glad that you joined in. By the way, like, sub, follow, subscribe, etc. if you want to. If you like what you like, you get more of what you like, you know. And hey, if you find this useful or entertaining, camaraderie, helps you fall asleep at night, what can a little thumbs up hurt? You know what I'm saying? I try not to pander too much, but you know, comes with the territory. Can build whatever you want and have a clean slate. Minecraft gives you the feeling of limitless potential. Cool. Okay. Oh no. No, that one map claims got it. All right, that's fine. Standard claims. Just trying to figure out where are these claims being set other than right there. Huzzah! Hey, thanks, Evan. Ooh, subscribe. Ooh, powerful. I think you're my second subscriber. Oh, you're following me on everything. That's awesome. Just don't follow me in real life. Do you know Louis Rossman? Do you follow him at all? He recently had a creepy experience. Let's see. Hold on. I think this is where I need to go for this. Parse with claims. I need to find where's I need to find the toString of this basically. But he bought a new house and someone physically followed him to his house to get his address. And I had somebody a few months back. This is when the dangers of streaming became real to me. I had somebody a few months back that gave me a prank call, and then they were referencing stuff that had gone on in the stream, and it felt uncomfortable. I didn't necessarily think that there was real danger, but it's just you realize there's people out there that whether they're weirdos or they're just teenage kids pulling a prank, you can't distinguish. It's it doesn't matter until it does, and when it does, it can matter a lot. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I've watched him since he was a baby YouTuber, but I got into electronics a while back. In fact, I've got a lot of that nerdery is over here where you can't see it, unfortunately. But yeah, and I was watching his videos because he shows how to do the soldering and he talks through it and everything, and I thought that was really great. Yeah, yeah, it's terrifying once you realize that you don't have to have a crap ton of viewers to come across a psycho. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So this is where I'm pulling the value out. And that makes sense. But where am I putting the value in? Where is it that I am generating the token? Let me think about this. So the way that it is verified, I need to go look at, yeah, I need to look at this inspect function here. So I can make whatever claims I want. This is why, because the device is making its own token. So we can't know just from the token having some values that they're correct. That's where the claims comes in. This is where I'm writing it out right here. So it's subject, audience, slug, and then device domain. And so I might need to pull that domains out into here as well. And then we've got ports, but I'm not using ports right now. So we've got subject, we've got audience. And that's really all that we're dealing with at this point. So I'll go ahead and throw audience in there as well. It's more standardized over time. Okay, and then this auth URL, I need to pull this out. Oh, whoops. All caps on the URL there. That's more than I bargained for. So let's see. Let's just look at how this is handling the auth URL. And I'll mimic this. So this has a config. So I'll probably want that. Yeah, I probably want that part of the server. Okay. So the auth URL could be somewhere else. Yeah, that's what needs to happen here. Let's see. Do I know Sarah Deichke? No, I don't. I will check her out real quick. Open it up.
Hey guys, this is Sarah. I'm gonna demo.
All right, so here we've got that. Oh, interesting. I'll give her a listen. See, look, y'all, my birthday's coming up. All I'm asking is just for a couple of subs. Let's just get from, say, what am I at, 2.5K on YouTube and 200 followers on Twitch. Let's just bump that up by a couple 100,000. No big deal. We've got plenty of time. Just help a brother out. Yeah, I'll take give this AirTag thing a watch. That sounds interesting. Yeah, it's so crazy. Oh my goodness, all the things, and I'm trying to. I started using a VPN and trying to be more careful not to dox myself. You'll notice I've got the purple browser now rather than the blue one. This one doesn't. None of the autofill has any of my personal information in it on this one. Putting AirTags on their car when they walk away. Yikes. Oof. Yeah, that's really uncomfortable. So that technology, I think Apple must have bought one of the companies that did it, because the technology, basically, just like we have ad trackers, what would happen is part of partnerships that people would get to put ads and other things in their app would be the AirTag technology. And this has been going on for over a decade, I want to say, since the technology that AirTags is based on was first released. This kind of offline internet, so to speak, where low energy Bluetooth is used just as you're walking around. You don't actually have to enable the permissions for this stuff, because the idea is that you're creating this global network where just by people walking past something, the information's being transmitted from one person to another and device to device. You know, it's kind of, I reference this every once in a while, and if somebody knows where to find this conference talk, or what it was titled, I would love to have this. I've seen it, but when Microsoft introduced third-party cookies, they had this big thing on stage and talked about how great it was going to be, and then somebody said, wait, couldn't this be used for really, really bad stuff? And then I don't remember if it was Bill or Steve, but one of them said, well, yeah, I guess someone could do that, but we're all responsible adults. We're responsible business people. No one wants to harm their reputation. People aren't going to use these cookies to do anything bad. And the AirTag technology, I forget what the generic name is for it. It's just NFC. No, it's not NFC because it's not near. It's not within centimeters. It's within feet. Anyway. Yeah, I could see the abuse of that going up. I think that it could work really well on Android for a long time, but it kind of was a fad for a while and it seemed to have faded. I actually have one of the original tags. Um, I got it at a conference. I think I got it at a Google conference. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a local conference and they were just sponsoring. I don't remember their name, but I have one of the original. Um, Actually, I probably threw it away. And oh, bless me, might be around somewhere because it wouldn't work with Apple at first because they didn't let the advertising bundles run Bluetooth in the background, and so for a while it only worked with Android. Okay, so get back to this real quick. So we got the auth URL. I'm gonna pass that in. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna go do this. We're gonna take this one. Managed. We have a config here. New default config. No, darn. Okay, so we do need a config. Let's see. Where's the init at? I don't think that's the right way to go about it. What we should do, this is what we should do, is we should have a server, and this is how I've learned to do it since this time, because I'm not doing it right in this code. But basically what we should have is a server object, and the server object has a route object. Anyway, for simplicity's sake right now, I think I am just going to do it this way. I'm just going to pass this through. Ugh. And then I'm going to go update the code over there. Whoops. I'm just going to accept another thing here. Auth URL string. This is why I got everything under the internal package, so I can do a bunch of hacky-do to get things working. Oh, the conference on cookies and tracking is from the 90s. It was Internet Explorer 3 or something. I don't know. But it was Microsoft Jobs and Steve Ballmer. They were doing a conference for Microsoft. It was in front of a audience of developers. Back in the developers days. And they were announcing the new features of that version of Internet Explorer, and what eventually became the tracking cookie stuff. Well, I mentioned Microsoft. Obviously, nothing relevant's come out of Microsoft in the last 20 years, so come on. All right. So we got the auth URL here now. We can do this and handle Acme challenges. So standard claims, subject slug. Yeah. So if we go back to the Acme routes, let's see, do I need to do is allowed claims slug? All right, and this is allowable because we know it's verified. Okay, so this should work well. All right, I think that I have accomplished what I set out to accomplish with this. So we're going to move this into, let's see, get grants authorizer. Okay, so we have here func get grants. Create grants getter, new grants getter. There we go. Okay, that's okay. And then this is okay. So new grants getter. Pardon the terrible naming. We'll get there eventually. Okay, and then this needs to return can I just throw that on there and call it good? Okay. I actually can probably pull this one out because we don't actually want that to be redone each time. Get grants. Let's call it get grants. Oops. Ah, what did I do? I broke it. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, We'll do it this way. Function expression. Oh, right. That can't work because the next has to be there. Okay, going back. Okay. That's all right. Everything's going to get compiled. It's all going to be great. Okay, last time Microsoft invented something, I think it was Windows 8.1 when they invented the worst operating system ever made. But you know what? When they took... After they stole the NTOS, when they gave it the XP skin, that was probably the best thing that they ever did. I wish they would bring Windows XP back. I wish they would just... Windows XP was so incredibly intuitive. My grandpa could use it. You know, it was so simple. I remember when they came out with they started introducing all these touchscreen features and stuff. I had to help my grandpa log into his computer because my grandma was away and he needed to check his email or something. He could not figure out how to get logged in. Now, I've been using a Mac for a whole decade and then some. And so when I went to use the Windows computer, I'm thinking, okay, well, all we should have to do is just click the mouse on the screen. It'll wake up from sleep. We're all good. No, that didn't work. So, okay, well, we'll hit the enter key. That didn't work. Or maybe we hit the escape key. That didn't work. No, you had to click the mouse and then push the screen up because they wanted it to be all cool and touch active. And I guess that somehow if you had the touch version, you were supposed to know that you flip it up even though it's a laptop. And there wasn't a way on the non-touch version to get the prompt to show. Actually, I think it would show if you just started typing. But you wouldn't have known to do that because you wouldn't see the prompt to ask you for your password or what your username is or something. And so I, had to struggle there and figure it out. And eventually I thought, this new one's supposed to be touch enabled. Maybe they want you to swipe on it or something. And so I started clicking and dragging with the mouse. And then it curtained up and I thought, this is so flippin' tarded. TM, hashtag, patent, all the things. Tarded. Straight up tarded. Bah. I wish you were old enough to give me an opinion on Windows XP as well. You can run Windows XP on an iPhone now, I hear. Okay, cool. So now those two are a lot closer to each other. That's great. Okay. Yeah, there's a project that is what the M1 emulator is based off of. Can never remember the name for it, but Windows XP emulator iOS. Let's see if this. That's not it. Let's see. Is this the one? No, this isn't it. There's one. Okay. M1 run Windows XP. Let's see if we can find this. It's got a name. It sounds like Universal VM or something like that. UVM, maybe. It's got one of those weird backronyms where you can tell. Oh, UTM, Universal Turing Machine. That's what it is. So they're not going to tell you that UTM stands for Universal Turing Machine, but that's what it stands for. There you go. This is it. Also, I'm lazy at typing. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, you typed like my stepmom. It's kind of funny because using single letters as whole words was in style back with the T9, which it sounds like you're too young to remember. And then that was kind of childish. And so, we grew up and got professional and went to using whole words. But then somehow, I guess part of this retro 80s craze or something, T9 typing is coming back in style. I don't quite understand it since nobody has T9 devices anymore. And this whole way of, you know, pardon my French. Well, I can't even prefix it that way because but how to say this? No, I'm not going to say it just for fear of not being able to say normal things anymore. But yeah, it's let's say internet jank, internet redneck speak. Hey, what's up, King 440? Hey, Prime.cpp, how you doing? You're gonna buy an IBM Model M. I don't even know what that is. Oh, the keyboard? Is that the keyboard? Anyway. Okay. All right, so this is good. Let me see if everything compiles again. If everything compiles, then I think I'm done for the night. And then tomorrow we can start in earnest on that the node service that fulfills this authorization function. That should be pretty easy to get started at first. Okay, command management. Okay, config. Oh, that's me. Okay, auth URL. Yeah, I do want to get some config for this, but whatever. Auth URL. So, how should this be done? I think I actually need to consolidate those two functions right now. Okay. MGMT. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Hold on, let me go back to this. Where was the route? New router. New router. New router. Route all. Okay, this is where auth URL was supposed to come into play. Not here. All right, so we're good there. And then what's this griping about? Service desk is unused. Okay, we can comment it out. All right, and then we need to go back to this route here. And was it there? Yeah, all right. So what I need to do is essentially, yeah, this can be all right for right now. Use get. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. So get verified. No, new grants getter. So here's what I'm going to do. Return new grant. No, not new grants getter. Hey, what's up, prime.cpp? Thanks for following. My podcast looks awesome. Which one? So there's two podcasts that I'm part of. One is JavaScript Jabber, and I've been a co-panelist on that since day one, which was before JavaScript was cool, when web apps wasn't a word yet, SPA wasn't a word yet. And then the other one is something I've only done a few sessions. We're going to do another one tomorrow, which is this blockchain podcast. And I'm cryptophobic. And so people are teaching me how to see past the hype and the stuff that is the 99% that scams into the 1% that's actually useful and could actually be beneficial to society. All right. Keycaps are themed after a retro keyboard. Awesome. I don't use LSP, language server protocol. Yeah, so I don't like my editor being slow, number one. And number two, I actually don't like things popping up in my face. I don't like typing and then things just being on the screen. And yeah, so I just prefer to keep it simple. And I know the APIs that I need to use pretty well. And I do like it when autocomplete works when I want it to work. But the problem is it's just too slow, because when I actually want it to work, I have to sit and wait, maybe half a second, which doesn't seem like a long time, but it's kind of obnoxious, for the option to pop up. And then most of the time, the wrong option is up first. And I just find that I end up spending more time dealing with the jankiness of the autocomplete rather than getting much benefit from it. So the autocomplete that I do have turned on is just tab completion. and that'll just complete words as I type them. That's other words that are in the file. But yeah, I'm I'm a weirdo. Okay, so get verified claims. So this should work now. I should be able to get these two things to go together. Yeah, so this should work. Claims token valid. Do I need in the Acme routes? I don't think I need anything other than, let's see, URL param, ctx.value. That's the only ctx.value that I need, is to know if the domain is allowed. I'm just looking at slug, so that should be good. So it's not published anywhere except for my channel. So if you go to the same channel on YouTube, you can look for blockchain, and it's just the series of blockchain debate. So these two were, as you can see, nice 2-hour conversations with other people. This one wasn't really, I don't know, I just decided to throw it in with that, but this one was just me talking about the concern.tech open letter and kind of riffing my thoughts on that. And then some of this other stuff is just whatever it is. But let me go grab the playlist real quick. So we should have playlists, should have great blockchain debate. There we go. So here you go. And much to my surprise, I have been I have been convinced that there is some value in the Web3 space. There's very narrow and limited scope, but there is some value in the Web3 space. And basically, I think the biggest, it's one of those things where it's like renewable energy, right? Anybody should be able to pretty easily come to the conclusion that if you want clean energy, you want nuclear, hands down. But there's all of the incentives are perverse, right? From a government perspective, they want there to be an energy crisis and a climate crisis because it gives them a continual talking point against the other side, whoever that is at the time. And then it also gives them ways to pass bills that have lots of, what are they called? Ear tags or something like that. So they can continually grant themselves more power because there's this crisis. And if we had a solution to the crisis, then you wouldn't be able to continue to abuse it. And so it's best if we continue to have a climate crisis and an energy crisis for them. Then for the oil companies and whatnot, they get government subsidies from investing in quote unquote clean energy. So they choose the most harmful for the environment, least efficient clean energy, such as solar, wind. And I think that hydroelectric is actually pretty good, but it's just not, you can't just deploy that anywhere. And so that's easy to dismiss. But it's just one of those things where the parts that are good should be fairly obvious, but because all of the incentives are so perverse at every angle, you're not going to find very many people that care about the things that are actually helpful or important, and you're going to find that people who are aware of them often want to diminish them and make sure that they don't see the light of day because it would, I mean, given that 99% of it is a scam, you've got a lot more money and power behind the people that are participating in the scammy part of it than the other people. So they're just as happy if it, all gets buried. Oh, I don't know what a whisper is. I think that's a private message. Let me go check and see about this private message here. Interesting. So with the whisper, you want me to reply to that? I'll just reply to that privately. So we can continue that conversation. Feel free to send me an email. There's my email for you. So, all right. So now I've got this auth bit. Seems to be in the right place. Let me go ahead and try to build this again. Okay, still had something fail. Looks like it mostly succeeded though. Okay, so I think that this is all good. All right, let's see, do I want to actually change these? I think I do. Yeah, I'll change that. Where was service description used? There must have been a place where it was used. Huh. That's weird. So generally speaking in Go, if you have an unused variable, and maybe I'm thinking about this wrong, generally it doesn't compile. So I'm wondering, maybe it's because it's in main. I think you can have unused variables in main because when you pass custom flags to the linker, it can have some meaning at that step. So maybe the reason that it only gave me a warning and didn't fail to compile has something to do with that. Because I don't think I removed the piece that would have been using this service description variable. Anyway, let's see. I am going to take a look again here. Okay, this all looks good. Okay. All right, so separate. Auth from Actually, I think I'm going to make one more small change. I think this should be fine. I don't think it should break anything. Famous last words. Okay, if I do it this way, maybe I don't need that whole bit of the group. Because I was thinking I would need this group. But if I just swap this new grants getter, that's not quite new. I'm going to call it claims getter instead. Yeah, so if there is no URL, then return get verified claims. That makes sense. So I've kind of consolidated that. Let's see here. Although this could lead to an infinite loop. So I guess what we need is if auth URL. So if len auth URL greater than 0, then we'll put in this inspect. And then I'll move this out. Inspect token. And I'm just going to see if I move it all the way down and see how that works for me. Inspect token. Let's throw this all the way down here and see what are we missing, if anything. Okay, that seems to work. All right. So that should put us in a good place where we don't end up with an infinite loop when this is misconfigured. Okay. And then I probably should just put out something for debugging purposes. Skipping API inspect. Delegating auth to, let's go ahead and actually do this. %s, and then we'll put in here auth URL. That should work. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. And register device. Let's go ahead and just move this out as well. Register device. All right, no complaints there. Cool. Pong. Let's call that Pong. And then we'll call this hello. Okay. And there we can see all of our routes nice and squished together, all in one place. All so friendly and cozy. See, here's the thing. You say, I think I just hit an all-time low. I finished setting up foot pedals for Vim. You could be serious, or you could be joking. Nobody's gonna know. But speaking of foot pedals, I did want a foot pedal for a project. And so I don't remember why I bought this, but I have here a foot pedal, and the thought was, I think I wanted to use, oh no, I do remember what this is for. I remember exactly what this is for. So I had this idea of building a soldering station that was just as good as one of the most expensive money can buy, but with the software written in Rust on a blue pill. I think this is totally doable. I just don't have the time to do it among the other projects that I've got going. But the idea was that this would be the safety. So if this was on, it didn't mean that the iron would necessarily be on. But if it was off, it'd mean that the iron would be off. So the iron would have a temperature sensor inside of it, and you can get these tips that have the thermistor, or maybe that's not the right term, but the temperature sensing is built into the iron. I don't think it's the thermistor. I think it's actually checking the conductivity of the metal itself is what provides that, because it knows what metal it's made of, and so you can get the response curve for the heat. But anyway, yeah, so the idea was that it would have two shutoffs. One would be if the heat isn't changing quickly enough, it'll turn off. So, because if you put the tip of a soldering iron on metal, it's gonna sink the heat, and so the temperature is going to drop if it's in use. And so, as long as the temperature is dropping, increase the wattage until the temperature doesn't drop, and then you can basically measure 60 times a second. So you can ramp up the wattage really, really fast and have instant heat. And so the idea was that the foot pedal would be, if the foot's on the pedal, then it can deliver instant heat. If the foot comes off the pedal, it can't deliver instant heat. But if it's just laying on the desk, it wouldn't be delivering any heat, because the temperature would only be changing as much as it would dissipate through air, which is much, much slower than how much it would dissipate through metal. But that was, kind of a rant. You'll prove it on Twitter right now. Okay. Go prove it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get around to it, but for a while I thought every once in a while I get depressed for a certain definition of the word, but I have the behaviors that a depressed person has in terms of um, it's typically during the winters. I think what it is sad seasonal affective disorder. So it's not, oh, I'm mopey and life is blah blah blah. It's that I start searching for something different. I get in this kind of a compulsive need to have difference, and that's one of the signs of depression, is that you feel intensely, not, and the word isn't necessarily intensely, but you feel a void of satisfaction, and so you are trying lots of things, trying to get that dopamine hit. And so I tend to pick up hobbies um, when that hits. And I thought that I was going to switch careers, that I was done with software. I was going to become a electrical engineer. I don't know. But the whole streaming thing kind of actually came out of one of those episodes, and it stuck, so that's good. Impulsively buying stuff for projects when you don't have time for any additional projects because dopamine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's it. Okay, anyway, now I think I'm actually ready to say that this is ready. Okay, I'm going to build this one more time. I think I'm going to call it good. All right, don't ignore the error messages here because they're not actually important. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to build it. I'm going to check that it's there. Great. I'm gonna add that one. We can just ignore this one because I didn't really do anything. Oh, I guess yeah, we can put that one too. That's fine. I'll put that as a separate commit though. Okay, so what this one is refactor, and what I'm refactoring is enable auth outside of MGMT. Okay. Well, everything is kind of a strong word. I'm gonna change that real quick. Oops. Spaces. There we go. Okay, I'm pushing it up. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this. We'll do a build. Let's see, where should that be? Right over here, maybe? Nope, that's local. So let's just go ahead. Go over to, oh, right here is where it should be. Let's go ahead and pull that. Shouldn't have any problems there. What? Git pull -u origin pro. Git set. Oh, doggone it. Come on. How do I git set upstream origin pro? Git branch? Set upstream to. What? Set up to track remote branch master from origin. No. Origin pro? I am so confused right now. I'm just going to go edit my git config. There we go. Git fetch. Git pull. There we are. Excellent. Okay. We'll go ahead and run the build of MGMT in particular. All right, I'm gonna click your sketchy link. Alrighty. Vim pedals. All right. Well, you've done it. You've reached true nerd status. And yeah. Yeah. Let's. Here we go. Sorry for the meme post, but I couldn't resist. True nerd status. Nerd stretch goals. Just stretch goals? Yeah, nerd stretch goals. There we go. That's too much. Too much. Too hard. There we go. Just true nerd status. That's enough. Boom. All right. Where was I at here? All right. So this is now the relay's working. This thing's working. All right. So Caddy's working just fine. All right, server closed. Oh, data race. Excellent. This is absolutely excellent. Holy moly, what a wonderful thing to discover. This is just great. I mean that sincerely. So error.txt, error.log. Important error. Okay, and then what is it griping about? Invalid client credentials not found. Okay, I think I know why that is. So let me go back over here real quick and just double check. Token is not valid. Token contains invalid number of segments. So what did I do? Okay, I need to look at something else again here. Okay, inspect. So inspect failed. 404. It seems kind of strange. I think what actually happened is that the env here, auth URL, do we have? Let's see here, echo auth URL. Nope, nothing there. All right, that's a little bit, it's interesting to me. Okay, that one's fine. But this one, okay. So I think the problem, the token is fully valid. So we got that far, but somehow this get didn't work out. Now, why is that? Kind of anticlimactic. Yeah, my post. All right. Well, this is a little bit sad because I was expecting this to work. And I think what happened, let's see, get devices, API inspect. Why did that not work out the way that I would have liked it to? I'm going to make a couple of just hot modifications here real quick and test a few more things. And it is closing up on 3, so I should hit the hay soon. But again, famous last words. I don't think this is going to take too long. I think it should be pretty easy to discover where this has gone south. So one, do we see the delegating message? Oh, no, we don't. Oops. So I did this wrong. I did this backwards. That's why this is broken, because this was done backwards. So see, it says if the auth URL is greater than 0, then it should print delegating. Otherwise, it should handle the route normally. So that's where we're at here. I'm pretty sure that if I just make that one change and run this again, I think that is it. I just had the wrong condition. So let's try it again and see what happens. Heyo, check it out. All right, and then one more time, let's take a look at newbie v2 Telebit. Sweet. All right, again, since we got several people watching now, it would be awesome if you would hit this test page and just let me know that, you know, for one or two people, just let me know, yeah, you get it too. That'd be awesome. So I'm going to go back to here. And then just put in that one little else. See, in this case, not so bad. Cool. All right. Well, then I will catch y'all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. It was nice to have the chat, especially with you, Evan, even though you're kind of a weirdo. I look forward to talking with you more. Prime.cpp. Gonna lurk for a few minutes because you're flashing your keyboard. Okay. Well, while you're lurking, we're gonna go raid somebody. Let me see if I can figure out who that somebody's gonna be. Let's see. Equipment system overhaul. The Prismatica dev is live. Destructible obstacles. Game dev questions. I will consider if somebody has, you know, if you've got somebody you think that we should follow, let me know. Let's see, I'm gonna go to developers. No, or how do I get to the channels? I go to browse, and then I go to, let's see, programming, software and game development. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm just gonna check. My girlfriend says I'm not weird. Yeah, well, she has perverse incentives. Is she capping? I don't even know what that means. Am I allowed to say that on the internet? Is that new slang? All right. I'm just checking to see. Working on a town for a dungeon crawler. That sounds kind of cool. Abstract art. 00 negative. Yeah. Let's throw some viewers at 00 negative because they're doing abstract art. Oh, wait. Did somebody just message me? I saw a little pop-up and I thought it said, hey, I'm live. Throw them over at me. But then I don't know where that went. I didn't quite see. So let me give one more look. Sorry. If somebody sent me a message saying, hey, I'm sorry. I saw it and then it went away and I didn't have time to figure out what was going on, so I apologize. I'm checking all these notification things. I can't find whatever it was. But I could have sworn just for a second I saw something pop up underneath of another pop-up. Anyway, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go raid 00 negative. Or 00 negative. So there we go. Pew! Thanks for joining in. Y'all have a good night. Adios.